Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayamudire nashtaprayeshu vudreshu nityam bhagavata sevayanam bhagavati uttam shloke bhaktir bhavati naistike. So continuing with the discussion on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Lila, Chapter 1, the later pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Text 47 onwards. रथ यात्रा देखी तहाँ रही दचारी मास प्रभु संगे नित्य गीता परम उल्लास. After attending the Rath Yatra ceremony at Jagannath Puri, all the devotees remained there for 4 months, greatly enjoying the company of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by performing Kirtan. विदाय समय प्रभु कहिला सवारे प्रत्यब्द आशीबे सबे गुंडीचा देखी बारे. At the time of departure, the Lord requested all the devotees, please come here every year to see the Rath Yatra festival of Lord Jagannath's journey to the Gundicha temple. There is a temple named Gundicha at Sundarachal. Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra are pulled in the 3 carts from the temple in Puri to Gundicha temple in Sundarachal. In Odisha, this Rath Yatra festival is known as Jagannath's journey to Gundicha, whereas others speak of it as a Rath Yatra festival. The residents of Odisha refer to as Gundicha Yatra. Yeah, they call it Gundicha Yatra. प्रभु आज्ञा भक्त गण प्रत्यब्ध आसिया गुंडीचा देखिया प्रभु रे मिलिया. Following the order of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the devotees used to visit Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu every year. They would see the Gundicha festival at Jagannath Puri and then return home after 4 months. Vishati vatsar aiche kaila gata gati anya duhar duha vina nahi sthiti. For 20 consecutive years, this meeting took place, and the situation became so intense that the Lord and the devotees could not be happy without meeting one another. Shesha arayai rahe dwadasha vatsara Krishna viraha lila prabhura antara. The last 12 years was simply devoted to relishing the pastimes of Krishna in separation within the heart of the Lord. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu enjoyed the position of the gopis in separation from Krishna. When Krishna left the gopis and went to Mathura, the gopis cried for him the rest of their lives, feeling intense separation from him. This ecstatic feeling of separation was specifically advocated by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu through his actual demonstrations. निरंतर रात्रि दिन विरह उन्मादे हासे कांदे नाचे गाए परम विषादे. In the attitude of separation, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared mad both day and night. Sometimes he laughed and sometimes he cried. Sometimes he danced and sometimes he chanted in great sorrow. जे काले करेन जगन्नाथ दर्शन मने भावे कुरुक्षेत्रे पायाची मिलन. At those times, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would visit Lord Jagannath. Then his feelings exactly correspond to those of the gopis when they saw Krishna at Kurukshetra after long separation. Krishna had come to Kurukshetra with his brother and sister to visit, and not just brother and sister, his wives, the whole army of soldiers from Dwarka, everybody came. Balramji was there, everybody was there. When Krishna was performing yagya, sacrifice at Kurukshetra, he invited all the inhabitants of Vrindavan to come see him. Lord Chaitanya's heart was always filled with separation from Krishna. But as soon as he had the opportunity to visit the Jagannath temple, he became fully absorbed in the thoughts of gopis who came to see Krishna at Kurukshetra. रथ यात्राए आगे अब करे न नर्ताना, तहाँ ए पद मात्र करे गायन. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to dance before the cart during the festival, he always sang the following two lines. Sait pran nath painu yaha lagi madan dahane churi gain. So he would sing these two lines. Of course, he would also sing Hare Krishna Mahamantra, but these were um, his emotions that were coming out. I have gotten that Lord of life, Lord of my life. Saita Parana Nath Painu, for whom I was burning in the fire of lusty desires. Yaha lagi Madan Dahane Jhurigenu. Madan means Cupid, or in the lusty desires, but not the lusty desires like we have. In Srimad Bhagavatam it is stated, Kamam Krodam Bhayam Sneham Ekyam Sohridam Evacha Nityam Haro Vidadhatu Yanti Tan Mayatam Ite. The word Kama means lusty desire, Bhaya means fear, Krodha means anger. If one somehow or other approaches Krishna, his life becomes successful. The gopis approached Krishna with lusty desire. Now somebody, if he reads this line only, oh, see, Hindu scriptures are like this or that. No, you have to understand the whole thing. Krishna was a very beautiful boy and they wanted to meet and enjoy his company. And then Prabhupada, let's see what he says. But this lusty desire is different from that of the material world. It appears that mundane lust, but in actuality, it's the highest form of attraction to Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was a sannyasi. He left home and everything else. He would certainly not be induced by any mundane lusty desires. So when he used the word Madana Dahane, in the fire of lusty desire, he meant that out of pure love for Krishna, he was burning in the fire of separation from Krishna. Whenever he met Jagannath, either in the temple or during the Rath Yatra, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to think, now I have gotten the Lord of my life and soul. And also, normally, when somebody has lusty desires, so idea when the boy sees girl or girl sees boy, the idea is to enjoy. Idea is that if I am having lusty desires, seeing a girl, I should enjoy. She should fulfill my desires. But here, it's completely opposite. Gopis wanted to fulfill Krishna's desire, and Krishna wanted to fulfill Gopis' desires. That is spiritual love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he is saying lusty desire, because he is burning in fire of separation, and when he goes in front of Jagannath Rath, or when he went back, Jagannath would stop. His cart would stop. So this is completely transcendent. Ei dhuya gane nachen twitiya prahara, Krishna laya vrajayai, ei bhava antara. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu used to sing this song, Saita Parananath, especially during the latter part of the day. And he would think, let me take Krishna and go back to Vrindavan. This ecstasy was always filling his heart. Being always absorbed in the ecstasy of Srimati Radharani, Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu felt the same separation from Krishna that Srimati Radharani felt when Krishna left Vrindavan and went to Mathura. So why? Because he wanted to taste that mood of Radharani. And now he is completely tasting it in Jagannath Puri. This ecstatic feeling is very helpful in attaining love of God and separation. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has taught everyone that one should not be overly anxious to see the Lord, but should rather feel separation from him in ecstasy. It is actually better to feel separation from him than to desire to see him face to face. When the gopis of Vrindavan, the residents of Gokul, met Krishna at Kurukshetra during the solar eclipse, they wanted to take Krishna back to Vrindavan. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also felt the same ecstasy as soon as he saw Jagannath in the temple or on the Rath Yatra car. The gopis of Vrindavan did not like the opulence of Dwarka. They wanted to take Krishna to the village of Vrindavan and enjoy his company in the groves. This desire was also felt by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he danced in ecstasy before the Rath Yatra festival when Lord Jagannath went to Gundicha. So once some devotees said that the Gaudiya Vaishnava, so devotees, they don't like when Jagannath comes back from Gundicha to Shri Mandir after 9 days or ninth day of Rath Yatra. But that's not true. Yes, they don't like it, they don't want to bring him back from Vrindavan, but if this is what Jagannath's desire is, so they just participate in it. Because they're here, the mood of separation, proper, because this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to give us, the mood of separation, or one way we can say union in separation, or the ecstasy one feels in separation. Jagannath Ji is in separation, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is in separation. And Jagannath Ji, when he is in his Shri Mandir, so throughout the year, of course, he sees his devotees come in, Balram Ji is there, Lakshmi Ji comes, and he has his pastimes of having so much of prasadam. But he also looks forward to those days of Rath Yatra because he's in separation. And when he's on the chariot, first of all, we have seen how he comes out dancing and he's in ecstasy and he doesn't know what he's doing. How is he falling on the earlier they used to keep pillows during Pahandi festival, but not anymore. This time I heard that he fell down. The devotees could not hold him. He was in so much of ecstasy. So he also looks forward to his Rath Yatra, to his going to Gundicha, to Vrindavan. But then he comes back because he also wants to enjoy that separation, mood of separation. It increases his love so much. Those who don't understand it, those who have no faith in all this, they'll just say, oh, what is this? Murti of wood is, we giving him so much of attention and he's just going and we are taking his Rath Yatra. For them, it's just wood. For us, it's Krishna himself as Jagannath. So that mood, whenever we attend any Rath Yatra, all over India, anywhere, so that mood should be there. We are taking Jagannath Ji to Vrindavan. Or like on the festival of Gundicha Mandir Marjan, when we cleanse the temple, because Jagannath, Balram, Subhadra, they're going to come and sit here. The idea is that. So throughout the year, when we are chanting, Another mood should be, yes, we are asking for service of Krishna. Another mood should be, I am cleansing my heart, cleansing it of all the material desires. Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. Everything I'm trying to cleanse with this chanting. So on Rath Yatra, I pull the chariot. In the process, I am pulling Jagannath, Krishna, to my heart, so that now my heart is clean enough for Jagannath to come and sit there and remain there forever. But if he wants to go out to keep me in separation, that's up to him. So when we attend Rath Yatra and we are pulling the ropes of the chariot, that should be our mood. Please, you sit in my heart. Jagannath Swami Nayan Patagami Bhavatu me. You should be my end of all attention. Nayana Pathagami Bhavatu. Or my eyes, wherever they go, that's it. You should be the goal of my seeing, eyes seeing. And this, and when somebody has that kind of love, what is he going to do? He's going to only dance in the kirtan, in ecstasy. What else is going to do? And Mahaprabhu showed all the emotions to the unlimited or to the utmost degree, utmost perfection. Because Mahaprabhu is who? Krishna himself, on top of it, mood of Radharani. So his dancing, his kirtan, and his showing all the moods of ecstasy. We can only imagine, that's all, through these pastimes. এই ভাবে নৃত্য মধ্যে পড়ে এক শ্লোক সেই শ্লোকের অর্থ কেহ নাহি বুঝে লোক. In that ecstasy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu recited a verse when dancing in front of Lord Jagannath. Almost no one could understand the meaning of that verse. So what verse he chanted? Yah Komara Harasa eva hi varasta eva chatra kshapas. Techa unmulita malati surabhya proda kadambanila. Sa Vasmi tathapi tatra surata vyapar lila vidho reva rodhasi vedasi tarutale cheta samutakantate. That very personality who stole away my heart during my youth is now again my master. These are the same moonlit nights of the month of Chaitra. The same fragrance of malati flowers is there, and the same sweet breezes are blowing from the Kadamba forest. In our intimate relationship, I'm also the same lover, yet still my mind is not happy here. I'm eager to go back to that place on the bank of the Reva under the Vetasi tree. That is my desire. This verse appears in Padyavali on an anthology of verses compiled by Srila Rupa Goswami. So this is the feeling of Srimati Radharani. And this is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was. Also, I mean, first that verse he was saying, and this verse also he was saying. এই শ্লোকের অর্থ জানে একলে স্বরূপ দেবয়ে বৎসর তাহা গিয়াছেন রূপ. This verse appears to be the hankering between some ordinary boy and girl, but its actual deep meaning was known only to Swarup Damodar. By chance, one year Rupa Goswami was also present there. So that year, Rupa and Sanatan Goswami had come to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in Jagannath Puri. Prabhu Mukhe Loka Shuni Shri Rupa Gosai Sai Shlokir Artha Shloka Karila Tahai. Although the meaning of the verse was known only to Swarup Damodar, Rupa Goswami, after hearing it from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, immediately composed another verse that described the meaning of the original verse. This is how um, powerful or how competent Rupa Goswami was. And actually, today or yesterday, it was Rupa Goswami's disappearance day. श्लोक करी एक ताल पत्रे ते लिखी आपन अवसार चाले राखीला गुंजी. After composing this verse, Rupa Goswami wrote it on a palm leaf and put it on the roof of the thatched house in which he was living. And actually, he was living in Siddhabakul, where Haridas Thakur was staying. So Haridas Thakur, he stayed in Siddhabakul. He would not go inside the temple of Lord Jagan. But from that Siddhabakul, he could see the Sudarshan Chakra on top of the temple. And that is as good as taking darshan of Lord. And he would not go. Why he would not go inside? Because Jagannath temple, it's a rule. Non-Hindus are not allowed. So Haridas Thakur, although he is Namacharya, always being respected by even Advaita Acharya, but still he said, because I was born in a Muslim family, I'm not qualified to go inside the temple. And Rup and Sanatan Goswami, when they came to Jagannath Puri, they also thought, because we served under Nawab Hussain Shah, and we had almost become Muslims. We served under him. He gave us those names, Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. So they said, we had become Muslims. So we are not allowed. We are not qualified. This is the humility. And look at the quality. Rupa Goswami understood the meaning of that verse, which only Swarup Damata could understand, what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was singing. And he wrote another verse explaining the meaning of that verse. But he felt so shy to present it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he just left it on the thatched roof of that house. Shloka Rakhi Gela Samudra Snan Karite Hena Kale Aila Prabhu Tahare Milite. After composing this verse and putting it on the roof of his house, Srila Rupa Goswami went to bathe in the sea. In the meantime, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to his hut to meet him. So this is the real quality. Mahaprabhu is coming to meet him. Haridasa Thakur Rupa Sanatana Jagannatha Mandire na Yayati na Jan. To avoid turmoil, these three great personalities, Haridas Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatana Goswami, did not enter the temple of Jagannath. It is still the practice at the Jagannath temple not to allow those to enter who do not strictly follow the Vedic culture known as Hinduism. Srila Haridas Thakur, Srila Rupa Goswami, and Srila Sanatana Goswami had previous intimate connections with Muslims. Haridas Thakur had been born in a Muslim family, and Srila Rupa and Sanatana Goswami, having given up their social status in Hindu society, had been appointed ministers in the Muslim government. They had even changed their names to Dabir Khas and Sakar Malik. Thus, they had supposedly been expelled from the Brahman society. Consequently, out of humility, they did not enter the temple of Jagannath. Although the personality of Jagannath, the personality of Godhead, Jagannath, in his form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, personally came to see them every day. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Jagannath, there is no difference. And Mahaprabhu personally came to see them every day, but they still would not go inside. Similarly, the members of this Krishna consciousness society have sometimes refused entrance into some of the temples in India. We should not feel sorry about this as long as we engage in chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Krishna himself associates with devotees who are chanting his holy name, and there is no need to be unhappy over not being able to enter a certain temple. Such dogmatic prohibitions were not approved by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Those who were thought unfit to enter the Jagannath temple were daily visited by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And this indicates that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not approve of the prohibitions. to avoid unnecessary turmoil. However, these great personalities would not enter the Jagannath temple. But they didn't want to create any issues over there. So they did not go there. Okay, I guess we can stop here. See anybody has any questions or comments. Okay, you all have a safe and wonderful day. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada.